Hi, and welcome to Second Amendment Sis. I'm Steffanie Rivers, and I'm here with my co-host Phyllis Petit. Welcome to the show. Hi, Phyllis. How are you?
I'm doing good. Been a busy week. How about you?
Busy as well, and it's almost the end of August. Time is rolling on by, huh?
It's moving super fast. I'm like,
So,
we have 1 week, literally 1 week left in the month.
and then it's another weekend holiday, and I mean holiday weekend, and moving on into back to school. So a lot of people, their schedules change up when they go back to school. And so what we're going to talk about tonight, I know is of interest to a lot of people, and that is the shooting death of Coach Mike Hickman, who was just 43 years old. He was shot and killed during a youth league football scrimmage in Lancaster, Texas. And that has a lot of people talking. So wanted to bring up a picture of Coach Hickman. And a lot of, this happened about 10 days ago. And what are the people talking about? Essentially, they're talking about how dedicated Coach Hickman was to his family as a husband and a father, and how he tried to give back to his community as a youth coach and a mentor, and how within a matter of seconds, the irrational decisions of adults at a little league football event took his life, and in front of witnesses, and changed a lot of people's lives and left them traumatized. In fact, dozens of children and adults witnessed what started out as a disagreement over an official's call on a play at the end of the game. And now Hickman is dead. Another man is accused of starting the physical altercation, and he has had to walk away from his national sports analyst job. And a third man is charged with his murder. So, Phyllis, I know you live in that area. Did you know anyone at the game? Do you normally go to those
No,
little league games?
no, I don't. I don't go to them. I don't have any children of age that participate. I have some associates that do. And so it was quite jarring when we saw the first post and, the comments that were being made. And then just this week, I saw the video of the altercation and of the accused assailant drawing his weapon and shooting Coach Hickman. So that it was um, really unbelievable because it was so unnecessary and uncalled for. He took it too far, and the gentleman that he was having the disagreement with, it became physical for like 2 seconds. And they're both, nice sized guys. They could have, walked away, or it could have been just, let everybody break them up. But his brother, the gentleman, the guy who was in the scuffle with Coach Hickman, his brother pulled his weapon and shot the coach. I mean, almost immediately, you know, judging from the video. So it was quite, it's really quite sad, and it's not unheard of. It happens a lot. I've been to sporting events for my great nephews, and
Mm-hmm.
people get very, very, very passionate about the calls that are made, and they forget this is for the kids. First and foremost, it's for the kids, for them to have a good time, and learn, sportsmanship, and the parents turn it into something else. And it's not just the male parents either. It's the fee. I've seen more female parents act up than male parents.
Oh yeah.
Yes, most definitely. And now that my great nephew, he's older now, so he doesn't play little league. He plays, in the high school and whatnot. But it's and the fact that people carry weapons into those outdoor games, no one's checking. No one is checking. How many times, I don't know about you, but even when we were growing up and going to high school games, people always bought weapons into the games. Always. That is nothing new. But having a coaches on the field with it, I'm like, wow.
Well, and that's what we want to talk about today. So many issues are akin to the subject of carrying weapons and behaviors of coaches, and because it also came out that the accused and the person who started the argument, that they were known for being like bully type coaches or bully type people in that situation. If the
Mhm.
calls didn't go their way, then they
Mhm.
had a problem, and you knew you were going to have a problem if it didn't go their way. So then,
Mhm.
that is an issue that we want to address as well, because lots of parents and people in the community attend these games to show their support for the children and the coaching staff, and any one of the children or the innocent bystanders could have been hit by a stray bullet.
Mhm.
So now community leaders, they want to search, some of them saying we need to search people who attend the games. There shouldn't be any
Mhm.
weapons at the Little League events. So how would that be enforced since concealed carry is allowed in Texas?
Well,
Um,
it's not allowed at the games though. Now they do have it posted, and it is against the rules at of concealed carry. So they do have it posted, no firearms, and most of the games are on school property. And so if you're caught with a gun on school property, you getting a double felony. You know, so the risk that they're taking, and the other coach, who was a former Dallas Cowboy, actually, he's the one that was in the scuffle, and his brother was the shooter. And like you said, they have a reputation for being bullies and getting rowdy when things don't go their way. Because like I say, in the video, it was almost instantaneous. They barely had a chance to the two men to physically start,
engage each other, right?
yeah. And then Coach Hickman fell, and then the guy shot him while he was down.
Well, we that's what we're going to talk about, this and other things. So we're inviting you to call in, chime in, or if you want to send us your comments via text, you can chat with us. You are watching us. I should say this: we are live streaming on our Facebook page as well as other platforms. And so, adults bringing drama to Little League games is nothing new. And here to talk about his experience as a youth sports referee is Lawson Turner. He was a youth coach, a youth league official for more than 52 years. So
A
we want to
long time.
welcome him to the show. Welcome, Lawson Turner,
Thank you.
and
Nice
thanks for
being
being
here.
our guest. So
Thank
now
you.
tell us a little bit. You said you officiated basketball and football.
I did basketball for 15 years. Then I got where, matter of fact, the trainer at the stadium, he told me that, I think you need to leave basketball alone and stick with football. So I stuck with football for 36 years. So uh, in that time, like I say, I worked from Pee Wee's, and that's where average officials, that's where they start their career, is at the Pee Wee level. And one thing that I don't know, it really shocked me because I'm in Seattle at the time that this happened, and it's way out there. It's national news. And the first thing I thought about is, I remember all the years that when I was officiating Pee Wee ball, that you know what, maybe that could have happened to me. But one thing that I always felt like that I always, and most of the guys that came along with me, we had a pretty understanding with the coaches, had a great rapport, not only with the coaches, but even the fans, you know. And one thing that most of these little league coaches don't understand, and that is number one, the officials that comes out there, uh, they are in training. They're really in training to try to learn the rules and the interpretation of the game. And and when a coach takes something to this extreme,
Mhm.
it's just no place for it. That's the bottom line. There's no place for it. And that, in all of my 36 years of officiating football, I never had to throw a coach out of a game. We've had conversation because one thing I knew, I didn't care whatever call that I made and that the coach disliked, I had to found safe. So, but like I say, I always try to have a great rapport with the coaches. And, yeah, we're going to disagree. Those guys in the NFL is making $89,000 a game, misses call. Okay?
Mhm.
These kids, I guess that's what really hurt me. I see it was a 9-year-old.
You can walk back.
They don't even understand the game completely. And to take it to this height, that's very
Mm-hmm.
unacceptable. It's very unacceptable. I don't care who it is or where it is.
So how did you what do you think has been the transition between people getting along and people being there primarily to support their child? And I guess my first question is, what are some of the things that people normally disagree about? Is it that the call you made, or the with the coach, you took my child out of the game? Like, what normally starts it that gets it to a point where adults are over emotional about it?
All of that.
All the above. And, again, talking to coaches, you know, be, it's a two-way street. And if he comes to me yelling, I know what I need to do. I need to go back out on the field and start the game back. I try to let a coach know, talk to me as a man because I am a man, and I'm expect you because you are a man.
Mm-hmm.
But again, these guys, most of those guys out there probably first, second year fishes. It's going to take time for them to understand the whole philosophy. It's not just about calling the game, it's how to manage the game. That's the
Indeed.
most important thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if I see that this coach is that disturbed about something, guess what? Maybe I need to take a time out on me and let me go over there and let's talk to this coach. But these young guys don't think about that. When I came along and started Pee Wee, they always had a veteran guy out there with you. But the veteran
Mm-hmm.
guys now, they don't do that. So it's just a totally different thing. They send three guys out there, all of them first or second year. So how can this guy at second year tell this guy at the first year, he don't know much more than that guy at the first year?
Exactly.
And that's what these coaches has to recognize. These guys is learning, and guess what? Those coaches is learning too. Trust
Yeah.
me, they're learning also. But then I had a discussion with some coaches in my church one time, and I told them that all you all think about is a W. You don't think about the welfare, well being of these students. How many of them that have left your program that went on to make a living at that? You can count them
Mm-hmm.
on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more about teaching the kids good sportsmanship, how you're going to deal in life, ups and downs. This is what this is all about. You can't just make everybody wants to win, but it
Mm-hmm.
can't just be about the win. When you do that, then you're going to have a situation like this.
Yeah, way too many egos out there on that field, and being that the aggressors, the shooter's brother was a former professional football player. I guess they assume they know how it's supposed to be, what it should be, and things of that sort. But I just think that in order for them to um, avoid this type of situation happening, there would have to be bag checks, just like it is at a major stadium. I think that that is the only way that they would be able to avoid this from happening again, is to do bag checks, allow only clear purses, and and check everybody that comes through that gate. And but then the cost for that, because then each of those schools or those teams would have to pay to provide security for every game at every entrance and exit of that huge field. Because some
Mm-hmm.
people just say, for instance, some of the teenagers, they walk to the field to watch the game. And if they, and well, when we were coming up, you could just hop the fence to get on the field. You didn't have to necessarily go all the way around to the front, to walk in through the opening, like by the concession stands if they have them. You just hop the fence because it didn't cost anything to go to the game, you know. So some, and like out in Lancaster, that field, man, that high school field is ridiculous. It's like a pro field. It's beautiful, but they may have police officers stationed here and there, but no one is checking who's coming and going. So you don't know what's in there. There's no telling how many guns are out there at any given time. Like I say, it's
Well,
nothing new. Even back in the day, people would bring them, but they didn't do any shooting till after the game out on the in the parking lot, and it was the people who wasn't even playing football, just the rival schools, they get to getting into it, and somebody fire off shots, not necessarily even shoot anybody, just start shooting, and that'll make everybody scatter. But to shoot somebody as a coach and you shoot another coach, that is crazy,
well, let me tell this here
in
to you.
front of everybody, and then run like nobody knows who you are, nobody saw you. What you running for? Be a man, stand on it. You just shot this man, stand on that, stand right there, and defend your reasoning for shooting and killing this man in front of, I'm sure their own children were out there too.
That's true. That's true. That's the bad part. And
Yes.
I read in the paper where this young man that ran the touchdown, he said, had I known that that was going to take place, I wouldn't have ran the touchdown.
Hmm.
And and I'm
He
saying,
feeling
wait a minute,
responsible.
that's right. So now this kid will probably give the sport up
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
because of the
Mm-hmm.
bad thinking on these, and the brother that played NFL, I'm really shocked at him. I'm shocked at him more than the brother that shot the coach.
You know what? I actually am not, because he has a reputation for having a very bad attitude, which is why he is no longer with the Dallas Cowboys or no longer playing professional football. He has a
I,
reputation for being um,
I understand that,
disgruntled
but you
and
know what?
problematic. Yes.
At the end of the day, though, he was in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew how far to go
Well, it
because
wasn't him. It was
they
his
have
brother that shot.
policies.
Yeah, no
What's that?
discipline. It was his brother that did the shooting.
I know that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
his brother that played in the NFL, he knew better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because NFL has strict guidelines. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's just like I'm a stadium manager now. Everybody come through that stadium, they're going to be warned. They're going to have clear purses and this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's going to cost them more. And what happened? Now the parents going to have to dig a little deeper in their purse and
Mm-hmm.
their billfold because they're going to have security. When
Yes.
I was coming along, we didn't play in the stadium. We
Right.
played at Redbird. We played up at
Mm-hmm.
Huxley. We played at these different parks. We didn't have that type of thing.
Exactly. And you know what else too? When things like that happen, then a lot of the schools will not allow them to use their facilities for those games because those games are not affiliated directly with the school's property that they're using. They're little
That's
league. You're at a high school property. Now they're going to
that's
block them from using it because we don't want that
that's
trouble over here, you know? And that's going
that's
to mess
true.
it up for everybody because if they can't find anywhere to play, where do the kids play then?
Right. So should there be, do you guys think, and if you're listening and you want to call in, I just put the link in the chat. Should there be standards for behaviors? You know, if you are a coach and you're constantly butting heads with officials, you know, and like you said, Lawson, there are going to be times when the coach does not agree with your official, what the officials call, but how you handle it. Should there be um guidelines on how many, what is it, how many what's that term called when you get,
Oh, that you can try ask the officials for it's not a replay because they don't have a replay out there.
well, I mean, is there, like, if you get so many offenses as a coach, is there, you know, does that mean
They
you
put
can no
them out of
longer
the game?
coach?
In the
Right.
UIL, you do.
Yes.
That is a
Okay.
league thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, but you know, just like
Only in UIL.
a high school player, if he have a fight and it happened in the first half, he's out of that game and he doesn't come back to the second half of the next game.
So then
So it's
maybe there needs to
consequences.
be that same thing for coaches and parents. You know, some of these parents I hear
Mm-hmm.
can
That's
cause
true.
havoc on the sidelines
That's
and
true.
don't, you know. So is that
Why
Yeah,
something?
they've
would
gotten
they have the
they'll put
parents
them
on
out
the
for that game.
sideline?
Mm-hmm. And they put the
Why would
parents
they
out
have
for that
parents on the
game.
sideline when they have if they playing at a stadium? No one
Yeah.
should be on the sideline but coaches and the players.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the business to the home side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I guess that bothered me more than anything. Again, for me to see something of that nature. Why? He must have had that intention of killing someone that day. Why would he
Exactly.
have a
And
gun?
he didn't even cock that pistol. He already had one in the chamber. Because he pulled it and he drew it and he fired. I'm like, he was already ready. You know, that's what was so amazing. It happened so fast.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't even give your brother an opportunity to okay, if two men gonna fight, let's man up and do it. Let's just use these, right?
right.
He didn't do that. Soon as coach fell on the ground, Coach Mike fell, he drew and he shot him.
Well,
Like they didn't barely
it
get
should
into
even it
it
should
though.
not even come to something of that nature.
Exactly.
It never come to nothing of that nature.
Well, he
Uh,
won't be coming to no more.
well, I know, but we got
Mhm.
actually you got two families that's messed up, really,
Oh yeah. Well, it's more than
because
that because it's the
he has
kids
a
that we
family.
played. Yeah.
Coach
Yeah, it's
Hickman has a family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and whichever way it go, you've broken two families for sure.
Yes. You took a man's life over a pee-wee football game call.
9 years old kids. That
Yes.
is just oh
This deplorable. And this is when we talk about situations of knowing when to stand your ground or de-escalate, right?
that's correct.
And
That's correct.
when you know that you're carrying, if you are a responsible gun carrier, first of all, you wouldn't even think to bring your firearm to a little league game. And if you're gonna bring it, and you have that in mind, well, this is in case someone tries to do something to us, us as a family, some outsider coming in and starting trouble. But another coach on an opposing team who's supposed to shake hands before the game even begins, and the game should end with the team, with the players shaking hands and dapping it up. Good game. That game ended tragically. And
Very
there's a
much.
video now that's out for the rest of all time, right?
Mhm.
That you cannot deny. You cannot say you were defending yourself because you weren't even the fighter. You can't even say that you had any justifiable reason to stand your ground and shoot when it just could have been de-escalated. You could have grabbed your brother and said, "Come on, let's go. It's not even that serious. Let's just go ahead and go. We'll get him on the next play." Right? None of that. He took it to a whole nother level of extreme cowardice as well.
So, some people might wonder why we are talking about this shooting on Second Amendment Sis, our podcast, because they say that it hurts the Second Amendment stance. And we are Second Amendment advocates, but we believe in the right to bear arms, but we also promote the responsible use of firearms. The state of Texas allows concealed carry. So now the issue is, and you guys addressed this earlier, it will become is it a question of restricting the rights of many because of the irresponsibility of a few? And um, how can you monitor um, who comes in? Because now, like you said, you got to spend more money, you got to get security to wand people. That's going to take longer getting in and out, and it's just, it's what do you guys think about that? But and I guess if it's on school grounds, of course it's not allowed. Then there's the statute, Texas statute penal code 4601, says that that you are allowed to carry a concealed weapon, but then it has to be posted. If you don't want that, you got to post it. So now they got to go around and post. So, what do you guys think about that? Would you be okay with that, Phyllis, with
For
them?
me, um, of course I wouldn't be okay with it. So I just don't go because I enjoy the rights that I have as a 2A carrier, concealed carrier, and I'd like to keep that. But if the rules change, which I believe they will moving forward, then that's just what it is. And then we will, and even if the rules don't change, this will affect attendance at the rest of the games moving forward because people will always remember and think about, if, say, for instance, my teenage daughter comes to me and said, "Mom, I want to go to the football game." I'm like, "Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, no, they doing too much." Think about the parents that are going to think just that way and say, "No, you're not going." Or a lot of parents are going to take their children out of the program that even play the little league football. They can say, "No, this is not what we came here for," because it's that one monkey don't stop no show, or one bad apple don't can spoil the whole bunch. And in this case, they're looking for any reason to restrict us from further 2A rights as it is. And this does not help. You know, it does not. Everyone's already on edge with everything that's going on in the world. And for us not to be able to go out and have a little league football game amongst what we call family, right? Without worrying about if there is an argument or a disagreement that somebody's going to get shot, you know, it's too much. It's too much. And the parents need to govern them and discipline themselves better. And they just need to grow up, man. It's a game. It is a game for 9-year-old children. The
So,
game doesn't even last an hour. It's a good 45 minutes each quarter, right? Something like
mhm.
that. Yeah, it's barely you're out there no time. It's over in no time, unless it's hot outside. It feels like forever. But I've always, my only concern has ever been, like I say, the safety after the game, because generally that's when scuffles start, and it's usually amongst the attendees, on rival teams. But in 9 year olds, and statistically in Texas, this is not the first time this has happened. It's not even the 10th time that it's happened. It's happened quite a bit, both sides of the field, in all races. It happens at softball games, football. I haven't heard too much about it at a basketball game, other than yelling. But there have been shootings at baseball and football games for sure.
But
I would
it
I would be
it
surprised.
it's rare that you hear it at basketball, but it
Mhm.
does happen from time to time. But let me
Mhm.
just say this here. As I stated to you earlier, that when you come to William Hutchinson Stadium,
Mhm.
I got people there. You number one, you're going through this metal detector. And after
Mhm.
you go through the metal detector, we got a person there to warn you
Mhm.
to see if you have anything in your pocket or wherever. And
Mhm.
the only person that can come on that ground with a firearm legally is a peace officer.
Mhm.
And when he enters that stadium, he has to go to my security people and let them know that he's in there.
Mhm.
So again, it goes back to as I was telling you earlier, is that now parents is going to have to spend hundreds of dollars more because that's why they're going to have to raise the fund to pay for this here protection. That's
Mhm.
what I'm saying. He just don't realize what the consequences are of his bad action.
Mhm.
And that was bad action on his part, on his brother part, whoever else that was involved into it.
Mhm.
There's no reason for it.
Mhm.
Game can't be that serious.
Exactly. You have to
You
be
know,
willing to humble yourself and say, you know what, I'm just gonna walk off and come on, kids, let's just keep it going. We'll get them on the next play. We'll get them on the next run. Let the
that's
kids
true.
play. Let
It
them
has,
have a good time.
So let me ask you
that's
guys
what it's about.
this. Let me ask you guys this now. Apparently, the former NFLer, he was scheduled to, or he had started to be a sports um, analyst for another network. And
Amazon.
now he has had to, or, they said officially he decided to step away to support his family. But we know they told him, don't come back
Yeah,
because
don't even bother.
we
Don't
don't
bother.
want this. So
Right.
do you think though, was that, should it go to that length
Yes.
where he now loses his job over
Yes,
Yes.
what happened?
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, no
Mhm.
doubt about it. Because, like I say, he should step in more so. Because, like I say, he knows the ground rule for that type of, and for him not to, to initiate or whatever, in his career, as far as anything else, it's done. Trust me, nobody's going to touch him. You know,
Mm-mm. Oh, his
that's so
career's
bad.
been done, and he better hope he don't get an accessory charge, because when something like that happens, they'll give everybody a little bit of time. You get some
Yeah,
time, you get some time, you get
yeah,
some time.
true.
Everybody get a little bit,
That's
And if nothing else, I don't think, like I said, it happened so fast. He didn't know that his brother was gonna do that, but I bet he knew his brother had that gun.
9 tenths out of 10. I would probably agree with you. You
Hmm.
know, no,
And it
whatever
wasn't the
way,
first. That lets us know that wasn't
whatever.
the first time he brought a gun too. You
No,
know.
it's not. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just like I said, is that we can talk about it for 4 hours, which
Hmm.
won't change anything. You know, us at least discussing this tonight, if anyone chimed in, at least I hope they have a little different aspect and a different outlook when they go to the next Pee Wee game or something. Because it can't be that serious, people. Whoever you are, it's never that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do something of this nature, everybody can get hurt behind it. It is just not worth that. Trust me, it is not worth it. So
Well,
I'm pleading to people, and I hope that they would really tune in. This is a great thing that you're doing. And I really hope that they would stop, take a second, and try to think instead of reacting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. They're reacting before they even think. My friend, when he was in the NFL, he told me, he said, Lawson, whenever I saw a foul, before I threw my flag, I said, one, two, three. Now I've had a time to analyze it. And if it was a foul, I can throw my flag. But you have to think. And that's what a lot of these coaches are not thinking. And it's so sad for the kids. That hurts me more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of those kids coming out of there may make a living at playing football. It may be one, it may be two, it may be five, or whatever amount it is. Some of that number now may be decreased for the simple
Mm-hmm.
reason what has happened just a matter of moments. And that can happen to you or I, anyone, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
think. All that you
Mm-hmm.
need to do is just take a second or two and think before you pull that trigger and say, what damage am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You're not in life.
Exactly.
So
Mm-hmm.
I plead to all, especially all the TV coaches, I hope that they would just stop and think just for a second, this type of thing won't happen again.
well, we appreciate you, Mr. Turner, and your words of wisdom. With 52 years officiating, that's a lifetime. And
Mm-hmm.
we appreciate your time tonight. So if you are out there, we hope that, and we will post this, we post and repost this on our social media platforms. And so if, do you have, are you on Facebook, or do you have any social media presence where if somebody wanted to reach out to you, they could?
You have my number. and
Okay,
you may
so
you
if
may
they
at
want to
any
speak to
time,
Mr. Lawson, they got to ask Steffanie for his number, and then I'm gonna text you and ask you first.
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. Uh, I feel like if you know them, then they must be okay.
Oh, all right. Well, our audience is growing, but I will ask you first. I'm just gonna say that. But
All
we
right.
appreciate
I
your
don't have
time.
a problem. Right. Now that may be the problem because I told you I'm a stadium manager. So like on after this week, usually from Tuesday through Friday, we are usually locked up pretty good with ball games at the stadium.
Hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty busy guy doing football season and
Mm-hmm.
soccer season. So, but anytime that I can be of any help, I've always been that. I I've been a servant like that all my life, and
That's wonderful.
I always, if I could help someone along the way, that's what I want to do. You know, so that's why I tell you, Stephanie, is that if someone do ask you, I'm telling you, you have my permission because I trust you. Because if you know Burrell, then that's why I did it.
And I
So
appreciate. Yeah, we were scheduled to have another person on, but he was unavailable, and he said you are the goat of officials in the DFW area. So we appreciate you, and we'll
but
keep
I've
in touch.
enjoyed it. I've
Well,
Thank you
enjoyed
so
it,
much.
and I wish the best for you all. And try to talk to your kids, and because this is going to have a big bearing. But
Hmm.
Phyllis, I heard you saying your daughter wanted to go to the ball game. Don't cut her away from everything,
No,
okay?
she won't be going without me. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yes.
good. And that's what a lot of parents need to go. Back in the day, I'm telling you, when I did a Roosevelt and a Carter game or a Roosevelt and Kimball game,
Hmm.
both sides of that stadium would be packed out. They would
Hmm.
put the bands down on the football field in the end zone. And because parents was coming to the game,
Hmm.
that's something that we, our people, going to have to get back to,
Exactly.
going to the game.
Hmm.
yep.
So please, please pass that on to your friends and hope that they will return to the game. That means a lot to a kid. My mom was a school teacher. My dad worked on the highway, so he was always away from home. He made it his point to get home on Friday night for our ball game. I
Hmm.
don't care where he was. He was in Oklahoma working wherever. He made a point to get back to Caldwell, Texas, to watch his son play football.
Hmm.
All
So
right.
that's what we're
That's
going
what
to
we
have to
need
get
to do.
You
installed,
gotta get
still
back to
into our
the yes.
yes.
All righty, sir. So we will keep in touch, and you have a good rest of your evening and a good
Thank you
rest of
so
your
much.
week.
Stay
You are
safe.
too. Thank you all. Be good.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.
All right, Phyllis. So that was great information from a veteran, an OG in the game. So we appreciate him stopping by. Um, what do we have coming up, if anything, that we want to promote?
Coming up, we have the Our Tribe Family Fall Picnic, um, which is what September the 10th over at Frankfurt Park over in far north Dallas. If you go to the Our Tribe group page, you'll see all the details about the picnic. We're going to have an old school, getting back to the old family values, and we're going to have a real picnic type environment. We're going to play musical chairs. We're going to have giant Connect Four. We're going to have spades tournaments, dominoes tournaments, and we're going to have a good old fashioned water balloon fight. We're going to have dodgeball. We're going to have to put a lot of rules in place for dodgeball, because some people play dodgeball and try to knock somebody else's leg or arm off. So we're gonna have to, because this is for adults and children. So if you haven't joined our tribe Facebook group, join our group. We're doing a lot of things um, in the community, and just having fun and getting back to our old values, family values, and not being afraid or apprehensive about getting out and doing things, because I think the world has really stifled a lot of us. I know that I'm a lot more worrisome about where I go and what I do, and who else might be there, like we were just saying, and what their intentions are. So um we make sure that all of our events are well secured, and be in a safe environment. And we also have some premiere movie screening nights. We're going to see Woman King, and we have a private screening, and we have a theater just for us. So, like I say, if you go to the Our Tribe Facebook group, join the group, and then you'll see all the events that we have coming up. We're doing some really great stuff. And lately we have been getting into a lot of rifle training, and I'm loving it to death. And a couple of the classes that we've had, I was the only female. And then you came out to the last one, so you got to see what it was like. What did you think about that?
I enjoyed it. I was trying to, while you were talking, I was trying to pull up some of the see if I could see the flyer or pull up the information that you were talking about.
Mhm.
But I liked it. You know, I don't have a long range weapon, but I was telling everyone it was like my ladies' night. I was able to share other people's weapons and gave them
Mhm.
money for ammunition, and I was better than I thought. So I
Mhm.
think it's important, you know, for us to come out, and that's another reason why I enjoy being a part of our tribe in the group, and Huey P. Newton and um, um, Henry Johnson Gun Club, is that we share our information and skills and try to better each other. And so I'm glad to be a part of the fold and learning so many new things.
Mhm. We have a lot going on. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Like, we also have, the big camping trip coming up in October, and we have bought up the block. I don't know if you saw the posting, but the last three spots that were available yesterday, they are gone now. So we
Oh
have
yeah.
that entire loop to ourselves. It will be the entire our tribe family, and it's gonna be a great, great, great time. We're gonna have a funky good time.
And so that's what we were when I came onto the call, y'all were talking about if we wanted to whitewater raft or something.
Yes. Our fearless leader, Ro, he is going to have some type of apparatus for the water, and I will be standing on the banks waving at you all. It's
I'm
like
sure
getting,
it'll be fun.
not for me. I'm not getting on the water. Nope.
This will be the perfect time. You got plenty of people there who would jump in and save you if anything
I don't
goes
know about
wrong.
all that. I don't know. It's not a chance I'm willing to take. Thank you very much. No. It be
Well,
my
I'm
luck I get some of that river water in my mouth and swallow what do they
a
call a
leech.
parasite or amoeba
Exactly.
or something and get something in my brain. No, thank you.
I know, right?
Yes,
Uh,
and I no. Mm-mm. And someone asked the question the other day. Well, we're going real camping. I was like, yes, it's real camping with the tents and the outside bathroom use, and all of that. Of course, I will have all the supplies. I will. I'm a bougie camper, first of all, you know. But it's. I've been camping before. It's been a while since I've gone, but it's a lot of fun, and it's going to be October the 21st through October 23rd, from a Friday, and then we leave that Sunday. So if it'll be relaxing for some, and we'll do some hiking and just all of that. I think it's going to be amazing, especially with such a great group of people. And because it is the Our Tribe group, we are not a gun group, but we are a group with a lot of guns. So any animal would be a fool to walk up into that encampment, because he will get he will catch it all and then get cooked. Because
exactly.
yes, what we're not gonna do is play with you. We are not.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. So we are we'll let you know what our next show will be about, and where if you have an idea or you got something going on that you think would make a good topic for our Second Amendment Sis podcast, be sure to let us know. We are on Facebook, and you can join our Facebook page.
Indeed.
So
We
thanks.
appreciate everybody for coming on and watching either now or later. We appreciate you. Go ahead, like, share, follow, all of that. Show us some love.
Exactly. All righty, ma'am. So we'll see you next time.
Indeed. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.